Point. Ball score. 15 long.
Well, the initial call was that the ball was wide. The chair official, who's on that side, called the ball good. And now, of course, there's the reaction from Andre Agassi, who suggests that maybe if there was an error, he'll play two. It looks as though he's going to accept. Oh, dear. Well, that was a typical John McEnroe serve, a beautiful left-hander swinging wide. Agassi way outside the tram lines. John McEnroe was there, but Andre somehow managed to conjure that back across the net. Ace number 3 for John McEnroe.
30-15.
Again set up by John's approach to the net. And finally the lob from Andre just nowhere near deep enough. He's just backtracking, keeping his eye on the ball, just shuffling the feet and in good position to put it away. Great volley. So a fairly comfortable opening game in the second set in this Nike International Challenge. Andre's success was reminiscent, I suppose, in many ways of Bjorn Borg's great run of success. You wouldn't have said that Bjorn Borg was a serve and volleyer. He certainly wasn't. I suppose you could call him more of an aggressive baseliner. Nice little volley there from John McEnroe.
Now 15.
But after John McEnroe ended Bjorn Borg's reign, you look down the list of Wimbledon champions. Jimmy Connors in and out. Boris Becker won 3 times, of course. Big serve, good volley, good all-round game. And Stefan Edberg, very much a serve and volleyer. And the Agassi volley being tempted there, the through-the-leg shot. He's not too far.
Now 30.
And John spends a lot of time at the net. He knows what's difficult to return. And it gives you a pointer as to how you might want to play it yourself.
Now 40.
You see that John just kept the ball pinned under the racket arm of Andre Agassi. Just a little bit wild on the backhand. John McEnroe gets a break. And he's leading 2 games to love. In this second set, having lost the first. So a chance for us to see one of the best service returns in the game once again. John McEnroe used to have one of the best serves in the game, but he admits himself now that as age has come on and as the real bigger players have come onto the scene, he's now gone down the ranks a little bit in terms of serving.
15.
Well, Andre gave that a second look. Thought it had just gone wide.
30.
Ace number 4 for John McEnroe. Well, when these two met in California, I think John ended up serving 8 aces and Andre serving 7. Great service return. Absolutely perfect return. John McEnroe put all he had into that serve as well. Andre's hands are so quick.
40-15.
Well, I think you could say there that Andre gave that the charge. He was almost in full flight when he hit that. Really menacing prospect on the second serve.
Just wide.
So John McEnroe holds. He's now got a comfortable lead in this second set, 3-love.
3-love.
Well, McEnroe went on to maintain his 3-game lead, but now it's 5-2.
So Andre here serving to stay in. Just long. Well, we mentioned John's two sons talking about their propensity for playing right-handed or double-fisted. This is what John had to say.
Yeah, well, that's certainly in the days nowadays. It appears that most players, when they're coming up, they start at such an early age, they're really too weak to hit a one-handed backhand. So you almost have to change at a certain point from a two-handed to a one-hander. And I've seen a lot of players that have had a lot of success over the last 10 years with two-handers. So it's not something you just automatically discourage anymore.
So there's one of the best double-fisted backhanders, serving well as well now. And Andre's got the bit between his teeth. 5-love down, and he's pulled 2 games back. Another good serve. It's all just looking a little bit more smooth and relaxed now, the Andre Agassi serve. Well, you can't get much smoother than that. An ace. Second ace of the match for Andre Agassi, and he's bouncing around a little bit, looking over to the bench, the side, and looking as though he might fancy his chances making a comeback here and taking it in straight games, straight sets. So can John McEnroe find the rhythm that he had earlier on in this set? 4 double faults in the previous game. The crowd thought that was a clean ace. It was just wide. And you could just see from the little hitch that John McEnroe made when he got to the net, he was really keen. He was making sure that he was crowding that reply down. Just watch it here. Over on the angle. Well placed. And once you get into that position, if you're John McEnroe, the final kill's fairly easy. Andre trying to step round and take that on the forehand. John has the ability to slice those balls, so they do swing away after they've bounced.
Yeah, awesome.
John McEnroe certainly seems to be enjoying his tennis these days. He's done much better this year than I'm sure he anticipated at the start of the year, getting to the semi-finals at Wimbledon. Winning the doubles, of course, there, getting to the finals of the doubles at the US Open, and enjoying a great run in the Davis Cup. A little bit slipshod from Andre Agassi. Hit that one much flatter. See, there wasn't the movement from bottom to top, which would have taken it over the net. So 3 set points. That's one of them saved.
40-15.
just wide.
Game second set.
So John McEnroe
6-2.
holds after a bit of a struggle, and we're into a third and deciding set. Two games all in the deciding set. Andre Agassi. You'll hear the chair umpire saying his name something like Agassi. The normal way that Agassi is pronounced in Korean to a foreign ear anyway is exactly the same word as woman.
15.
Agassi wins that. The two players came out of the airport yesterday, and there was a teenager in the crowd said to her mother in Korean, "Oh look, there's John McEnroe and Agassi," and the mother turned around and said, "Well, I can see John McEnroe, but where's the woman?" That's a true story. I just made that up. And Agassi's ground strokes really have come on now in this third set. And John McEnroe is finding himself stranded. Yeah, the second serve. You saw McEnroe walk right into that. He was on the move even before the serve was struck. And that set up the volley, back to 30 all. McEnroe's down and out. Andre's absolutely delighted with things. And poor old McEnroe's feeling a bit shell-shocked. Agassi really has found his range with those ground strokes now. Incredible pace.
Game Agas.
Agas has pulled out a little lead here, 3-2, but we're on serve.
John, I suppose this has been a good year for you. You got semi-finals at Wimbledon, and everyone was delighted to see you do so well in the doubles, and then not a bad run in the US. So things have been pretty good so far.
I gave it my best shot, and I feel like I played well in the big tournaments, and now we're in the finals of Davis Cup, and I've got that to look forward to, and the Grand Slam Cup at the end of the year. So I'm proud of what I accomplished this year. I would have liked to eked out a couple of those matches and gone a little bit farther, but the guys I played those days, Curry and Agassi, they played too well for me.
Yes, it was Andre Agassi that defeated John at Wimbledon, and Jim Courier really on song at the US. Jim Courier also beat Andre Agassi, and then had that very strange matchup against Pete Sampras. And Sampras, even though he was suffering from stomach cramps, possible beginnings of dehydration, and he still managed to go on and take the match. But then, of course, lost to Stephanie. Let's concentrate on John McEnroe and Andre Agassi.